What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an unboxing of the Monsterbass National Box. Now we are going to do the regional box later on in this month as well, so stay tuned for that. But today is all about the National Box, and we're going to do a tag team video on the Monsterbass channel, so definitely go over to that channel here pretty soon and check out my how to rig everything in this box video for April. So this is a national box from Monsterbass for April. This box comes in at like 25 bucks. It's pretty dirt cheap for a subscription box, and it does get you 6 baits that are guaranteed to catch you fish. There's a new MB bait in this month as well, so I'm interested to test that out on the water and see how it fishes. I'll give you guys a full review once we get a chance to do that. Before we do all this stuff though, of course, if you like the content, if you're looking for more, and you're looking for more spring fishing, because that's happening, as well as some major sonar upgrades. We got Garmin Panoptics in the mail right now, headed our way. So pumped to do some major overhauls to the electronics on our Hobie Pro Angler 360s. So if you want to stay tuned for a couple of nerds breaking warranties and destroying their kayaks with very expensive sonars, you should probably subscribe, smash like, ring that notification bell, and then come back when we go live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a blast. We'd love to see you there and talk to you in chat. Okay, so there's not as many baits as the regional box. This goes pretty quick, so let's dive right in and let's see what kind of baits Monsterbass has in store for you. And by the way, there's a link in the description below if you want to pick up your own box. Please use our link, and you can also use code SAVE15 to get this box for 10 bucks if it's your first subscription with MB. Let's get into it. 6 baits. We're going to talk about how to rig them on the Monsterbass channel. So if you want more specifics on what I'm fishing this on, rod, reel, line, and cover situations, go check it out on that channel when I drop that video. We should be in the first week of April, so stay tuned there. Now, there's 3 hard baits in here, 2 plastics, and 1 terminal piece. So let's see what we got. Let's start with the hard baits, typically what I like to do. And I think I'll just kick it off with this brand new bait from Monsterbass. So if you guys are familiar with Monsterbass's jerkbait, it's called the Slick Stick 110. They've now made a shorter version. This is the 99 millimeter, so the Slick Stick 99. And this one is floating. Interested to see how floaty it is. I do like suspending jerkbaits a lot more than floating jerkbaits. I don't know about you guys. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you like. Floating, sinking, suspending. Where are you at on this jerkbait plan? Because it's spring and jerkbaits are for sure working right now. So this thing is a 1/2 ounce, which is good because that means you can huck it out there. 99 millimeters. I think it's a great size. I've been throwing 110s, like 106 to 110 size jerkbaits so far this year in freezing cold water next to floating ice and catching fish. So that size, not that big a deal for me. I don't know about you guys. I will say it seems like these trebles maybe are a little on the big side, like a tad too big. So I might change those out. If you guys are like me, highly recommend you guys keep trebles on hand in case you want to change things out. Sometimes it's nice even just to change like the back treble to a smaller size. So if you like to modify your baits, there's a tip. You can go do that. This comes in a pretty cool, like translucent, sexy shad. They call this color Ghost Sexy. That makes sense. So this Ghost Sexy color has that chartreuse lateral line. Looks sweet. Got that black makeup up front, so that's real nice. A little orange hue on the bottom, I like it. You've got the shorter lip, so it's shallow diving, probably 4 to 6 if you run it. Doesn't say on the box, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it. That's 4 to 6 foot diving, and it's floating. Now, floating baits are not all created equally. Some of them will float up faster than others, so I mean, there's no way of knowing until I get it out in the water. Plus, water temp does make a difference with that as well. So we're gonna see. I'll get this out on the water, I promise you. We'll put it in a video, and we'll show you guys, because I'm definitely doing a lot of jerkbait fishing right now. Nice tinny rattle to go along with it, and you get that front treble in red, which can help trigger some bites. Not sure the science behind that's foolproof, but I mean, whatever. I'll take it, and I've definitely caught fish on these jerkbaits, so we'll see how it goes. These are also those BKK trebles, which is solid. Well-made treble hooks. You don't always get nice treble hooks on your body baits when you first get them. You usually have to modify them, especially if they're, you know, from a cheaper brand or something like that. So this looks good. I'm excited to try it out. I mean, first looks, I think I'll catch something. Next up is a topwater. Now, I'm not really throwing these much right now, but it's gonna move into this phase where I will be able to, so I'm excited for that. Topwater is just, something else. I'm sure you guys would agree with me. Topwater blowups are just absolutely fantastic. They get the adrenaline pumping. So this is a steel shad. Steel shad, I think, mostly known for like their blade baits. This popper, though, is a pretty solid build. It reminds me a lot of like the Guggen blooper, or maybe even like the Megabass popper. Look at that. So you got that gigantic scooped mouth, so it's gonna be spitting a ton of water. It's got a decent build to it. Pretty heckin' loud. You got the treble tied off the back, looks okay. I mean, hooks are fine. You might want to upgrade those. And there's your steel shad print on the top. So it's in like a bass color, which is interesting. A little line back there, I don't know. So just more of a natural color, white on the bottom. And typically like with topwaters, I just lean on like black or white, and I have the most luck with that. I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into the color choice here, but not bad. And again, it's one of those things, I got to get out of the water and see how it fishes. Definitely not all topwater poppers are created equal. Some will walk as well as pop very well. Some will just drown themselves and put themselves out of their misery. I don't know. We'll see what this one does. Not my favorite in the box for sure, but nonetheless, probably a decent popper. I think it'll get the job done. No weight on that, but I'm assuming it's close to a ½ ounce. Next up is one I've fished a ton in the past. This is called the Racket from Bandit Lures. It's a square bill, pretty hefty one at that, and you can imagine by the name Racket, probably gonna cause a racket. Got it. I used to have one of these up on the wall. I have gotten this from MB in the past, so I do have to shout that out just so you guys know. But this comes in this chartreuse and black color, which is a good go-to color. I've got plenty of square bills like this that I like to throw around. It's a more tapered body, not a flat side by any means, but definitely a little bit skinnier than a lot of square bills you'll see. And let's check that racket. It's a decent racket. I do like the flat bill. I think that's solid. They'll give you really erratic action in the water. It's gonna look gosh dang good, and we know it's gonna catch some fish. I will say the color I got in the past from MB was like a purple and yellow kind of mix that I wasn't, as much as I love purple and we love purple on this channel, surprisingly enough, did not like that square bill. This color I'm much more likely to be throwing, and I think it's a good time of year to be throwing it. So solid, because the thing is, you got to keep in mind with these boxes that they're trying to be seasonal, even though sometimes MB will do like a specialty box. So I think the regional this month will be like Carolina based. Last month was a Texas rig box. The month before that was the Z-Man box. The month before that was the Lunker Hunt box. So with the nationals, you're really just getting like fish catching baits, and they're going to be a little bit more seasonal. And because it's the national box, it's not as selective by region. So you're just getting a bunch of baits that are guaranteed to catch fish regardless of where you're at. Now for me, that topwater popper, I might have to wait a little bit longer on than you guys down south, which is totally cool. I'll sit on it, it's fine. Having more poppers is never gonna make me mad. But this right here, this I could throw right now. And I definitely will, especially if I can get into the rivers with it. Then we got some plastics. So these two, actually good for some techniques I have been using this time of year. And I'm sure they're gonna work for you guys regardless of where you're located. This first one's from Deep Creek. We lovingly call them Derp Creek lures. But Deep Creek lures, we've gotten in the box before a few times. Different variations. I remember their fluke was a pretty nice fluke. This one is heckin' crazy. Look at that. So it's like that bug beaver style, you know, bait, whatever you wanna call it. And it's got a hell of an appendage coming off the back there. So this would be something great throwing Texas rig, Carolina rig, or just straight flipping up in heavy cover if you want to. It's got a nice thin body, ribbed all the way through. These crazy appendages down the side look great. And you get these added little claws down here. So you got actually like 4 major appendages coming off the bottom. It does also have like a recessed section in there, if you guys can see that. Oh, wow. Look at all that red. So this is a watermelon explosion on this side. Yeah, those flakes are popping. That looks awesome. Look at that. Sweet. So yeah, that hook recess section there, so you can rig this up however you want. Throw it on a flipping hook, punch it, or throw it Tokyo, Carolina, like kind of your choice, dealer's choice here. I think I'm gonna go like Tokyo rig Carolina on this baby. Look at that action, and that's why, right there. I'm gonna toss in the terminal before we get to the last plastic here. So we've got the Monsterbass stoppers. Now these are bobber stoppers. I mean, like regardless of brand, they're all kind of the same thing. A little piece of rubber you slide on your line so that you can stop the weight from moving. This is great if you're trying to get through grass. If you're around rock or just open areas, like I typically don't put a peg or a bobber stopper on there. But this can be helpful also for rigging your Carolinas and stuff like that. And I do like that the MB one doesn't come with that little like cheap ring where all this wire is just like wrapped around it. I think this one's a little more on the smaller condensed side, so it's easier to pack up. And you got this little plastic piece right here to hold on to it. Neat. And you get a whole bunch of them. Look at that. I don't know, probably 10. Decent chunk of bob stops. And they definitely help out a lot. You can throw 2 of these on if you got like a heavier weight you're trying to peg, but they help out with a ton of different things. The last plastic I'm probably most excited about because I haven't used this, but this is the Borehogs from ZMan. You know, we're fans of ZMan here on the channel. We like to fish them a lot. This bait, I'm intrigued by. To me, this screams like invincible Texas and Carolina rig. Look at that thing. So we've got, you know, that tube style body, right? Ribbed all the way down, so tons of action, lots of water displacement and movement. 8 little appendages coming down on the sides. You got the little flaps down here, right? It's kind of like a battle bug or something like that. You break your claws apart. Holy cow, it's that Elastec working for you. You got these big flapping claws here. Look at that. This color is Bamba Bug, and it's very subtle actually. It's just kind of dark up on top. So you got a real dark purple. You got that green flash from the green flake there. And then the bottom is just a green pumpkin base. So you see that green pumpkin, and then here's your flashy side, which is nice. I mean, if you want to just, I mean, you can rig it one way or the other if you want to. You'll get the little hint of the flash as you move this thing around. This is a perfect Carolina rig, and it's Elastec, so it's not going to break after 1 or 2 bites. I remember being on the St. Lawrence fishing the Gary Yamamoto's Flappin' Hog, which is a fantastic Carolina bait, but the durability doesn't hold up. So after a couple of, I mean, granted, giant aggressive smallmouth on St. Lawrence, after a couple of those, it was beat to heck, and we had to just go through bag after bag of plastics. Whereas something like this, if it's the right deal for that day, you could knock them absolutely dead and not change a bait once, which is awesome. So definitely a big value in this pack, I would say. And there you have it. So we had the ZMan Borehogs, excited for that. Deep Creek lures. This one's called the Super Razor Beetle. I mean, it's gigantic. You're gonna want a 4 or 5/0 hook at least on that. We had the bobber stops, little pegs, steel shad popper, Bandit Lures Racket square bill, and that brand spanking new and ghost sexy Slick 99 from Monsterbass. Nice little 2 treble jerkbait, perfect for this time of year. So if you're looking for a box with a selection of hand-picked baits that are going to catch fish for this season, check out the National box. Especially if you're looking to save money, this is a fantastic box to start out with if you're getting into subscriptions. It's 25 bucks, less $15 if you use code SAVE15, and then just use our link in the description below. And you got baits. Go fishing. That's what I'm gonna do, and you guys should definitely do that too, because I want you to have a good time. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, smash a like, ring that notification bell. We'll catch you on the next one.